Yet, right?
Oh, we're starting in a few seconds.
Okay. Facial,
Yeah.
can you bring the cartels?
Yeah. I'm coming.
Okay.
We are live.
We're online. This is Srila Prabhupada's. He taught this rhythm. Teeny, teeny, ta, de iotanaka de, ditya de. Okay. My cartel player is here. I'll give you 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Thank you. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namane Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Charine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschat Yadesha Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschat Yadesha Charine. Hey! Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta-vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta-vrinda Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Rama. You wanna sing? Hare Krishna Hare Krishna. You can join me. Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Rama. Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Thanks. Jai Om Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parabrajakacharya Ashtataro Satta Shri Srimad A.C. Bhaktivedanta Goswami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda Ki Jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Prem Sikaho Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sri Vasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Shri Radha Krishna Gopinath Shamakunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhana Ki Jai. Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai. Mathura Dham Ki Jai. Navadvip Dham Ki Jai. Jagannath Puri Dham Ki Jai. Bhakti Devi Ki Jai. Tulasi Devi Ki Jai. Yamuna Mai Ki Jai. Ganga Mai Ki Jai. Shama Veta Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All right. Hare Krishna. Now,
Now the real fun begins.
just a sec, Prabhu. I gotta get these wires arranged and put them back in my in my ears. What were you saying, Prabhu?
I said, now the real fun begins.
Now the real. Oh boy, 300 people and dancing at once, and the foundation was starting to creak.
Where was
So-
this?
What did you say?
I said, where was this 300 people?
In my head.
See,
Okay, today we're talking about receiving Lord Chaitanya's mercy. It's really very wonderful how this process is described in the Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. Srila Prabhupada has given us the Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, how Lord Chaitanya, Krishna, he was in Krishna Loka, and there's a monologue. Krishna is speaking, he's talking out loud, but speaking to himself. It's described in the first, in the Adi Leela. He says, it's been such a long time since I've been giving this process. You see, we say, Namo Mahabodhanaya Krishna Prema Pradayate, Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Goratashe Namaha. So, we say that Lord Chaitanya, there's so many avatars. They're described. The avatars in the Sri Brahma Samhita. It says that these avatars, they come just like the waves in the river. You see thousands of waves going by. It says the avatars are like that. They're unlimited avatars. But what we're saying is that Lord Chaitanya, he's Krishna himself, of course. He's more magnanimous than any avatar. He's more magnanimous than Krishna himself when he comes and speaks Bhagavad Gita. He's the friend of Arjuna, and he has his Vrindavan pastimes, and he has his Dwarka pastimes as the friend of Arjuna. He engages in the battle of Kurukshetra as Arjuna's chariot driver. Imagine can become the devotees chauffeur. He's driving Arjuna's chariot. He's the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but he's driving the chariot because a chariot driver, he's Sarati, Partha. Partha is another name for Arjun, means son of Pritha. Pritha is another name for Kunti Devi, the mother of Arjun. And Krishna is Partha Sarati. He's the chariot driver of Arjun. So, but he speaks Bhagavad Gita. He's telling us that Manmana Bhavamad Bhakto Madhyajimang Namaskuru Mame Vaishyasi Yukbhaivam Atmanam Matparayanaha. He says you give up all your ideas about how to advance spiritually and you just give me your heart. You just surrender to me. Surrender means love. That Krishna wants our love. That's why we say we're engaged in bhakti yoga. Bhakti means love of God. Love of God means not unalloyed. Unalloyed means most people in the world, they approach God, but they want something. Like God is Amazon.com, but not here on the computer, but in the sky. And they place their order, as Srila Prabhupada said, like they take that God is the order supplier. We place our order and God supplies. And if he supplies, then we worship him. As Srila Prabhupada says, this is not love, this is a business deal. So we're not doing business with God, we're learning to love him. But then somebody might say, oh, but what about me? I want to be happy too. So, Srila Rupa Goswami, he explains that when the heart is filled with love of God, can't contain it. Can't contain it. It's like diving and surfacing an ocean of nectar. It's called the ocean, the nectar of devotion. That being, having love for God fills, how is it that having love of God fills the heart with so much nectar? How is that? So it's explained in the Srimad Bhagavatam that I'm a spirit soul. I'm not this body. I'm a spirit soul, but I'm not separate. I'm actually part of God. We're part of God. But at the same time as we're one with God, because we're part of him, just like all the cells in my body, they're part of my body. They can't be separate, but they're individual cells in my body. They're part of me. They're our body also. In the same way, we are part of God. But we're eternally individual, infinitesimal, so small we can't imagine, so small. So we have a relationship that, what is that relationship? That it's described that just like, consider Bhagavatam, Srimad Bhagavatam gives an example like the leaves on the tree. Maybe millions, maybe hundreds of thousands, millions of leaves on the tree. They need water, and some leaves are maybe trying to water themselves. But they can't get the water actually. And now and then there may be one leaf here and there. He has compassion, sees that the other leaves need water. He wants to water the other leaves. But that also doesn't give them what they really need. But if there's one leaf on the tree, waters to the root of the tree, all the leaves, all the flowers, all the twigs, all the branches, all the fruits, everyone is served if there's a pure devotee. If there's a devotee, that way, so when we give our love to Krishna, when we give our love to God, then we become satisfied, happy within our heart that we can't conceive how much it is. The descriptions are there. In the scripture, what the descriptions of the ecstatic love of God. Of course, we're neophytes and it's a stepwise process. Maybe it take... Srila Prabhupada used to encourage that we can do it in one lifetime, but for most of us it might take a little more. That it's a stepwise process. So many stages. So Krishna is thinking within himself that he hasn't given this process. How the spirit soul can develop what? Not love and awe and veneration. Not that. In all the Vaikuntha planets, the residents of the Vaikuntha planets, they see God as the great ruler like that. And they have tremendous respect and veneration. But in Krishna Loka it's different. In Krishna Loka, that Mother Jashoda, if Krishna is naughty, she'll scold him. And Krishna likes that. Krishna has different relationships in the spiritual world. In the Krishna Loka planet, he has different relationships. He has friends. The friends, they want to maybe to wrestle with Krishna. Who's the most strong? And the one who, or they'll have competitions, games. And those who are losers in the game, they have to carry the others on their back, on their shoulders. And sometimes Krishna is carrying some of them on his shoulders. And then Krishna, all the cowherd girls, village girls, they are falling in love with Krishna. And they just want to be with Krishna. They just want to serve him with their love. So, but nobody knows in Krishna Loka that Krishna is God. So why? Because Krishna says in Chaitanya Charitamrita that he finds this is a little bit boring, all this love and veneration. He has more fun if people don't know that he's God, but treat him like he's one of us, like he's part of our family, like that, because this is Krishna's enjoyment. He wants this, so he says, I haven't taught this sort of thing in such a long time. So he's giving, because all the incarnations of God, they're giving rules. They're giving how to be a good person. Varnashram, just like Lord Ram, he's teaching how to do your duty in society. Varnashram, they're teaching, or different yoga system, or different jnana system, or so many karma kanda. What is that? People are engaging in karma yoga so that they can, in karma, so they can go to higher planets, something like that. People are worshipping God to develop mystic powers. People are worshipping God for so many reasons. So, but to love God, just to love him. Krishna wants that. Krishna wants that from us. He enjoys that more than anything else. So he says, I'm going to go down to the earth planet. I'm going to teach this process. I'm going to teach this process. How? I'm going to teach this process by taking the role of a devotee. And I'll show by practicing devotional service what this is all about. So Krishna comes in the form of Lord Chaitanya. So he says, to give an example of what Anarpita Charim Charat, that Srila Rupa Goswami said, may that Lord, no, this is another one, may that Lord who is known, what, as the son of Srimati Sachi Devi, may he always be situated in the innermost, no, transcendentally situated in the innermost chambers of your heart. He's resplendent, describing what we should see within our heart, resplendent with the radiance of molten gold. He appears in this age of Kali by his causeless mercy in order to bestow what no other incarnation has ever offered before. This mellow of pure devotional service, this mellow of conjugal love. So, what is Lord Chaitanya? He's coming in the mood of Radharani, and he's feeling this separation from Krishna. And he's sharing this. He's coming to share this. And we should always see him within our heart, dancing. He's dancing in the Ratha Yatra parade. What is that Ratha Yatra parade? Who is Lord Jagannath? Lord Jagannath is Krishna, who appeared on the battle, at Kurukshetra. He appeared at Kurukshetra during the solar eclipse. And the resident, that was after he left Vrindavan. He left, and all the residents of Vrindavan, Krishna is coming from Dwarka to this holy place, Kurukshetra. It's a place of pilgrimage. And they're going to observe ceremonies during the solar eclipse. He has left Vrindavan a long time ago. All the residents of Vrindavan, they're coming. They want to meet and see Krishna too. So that Lord Jagannath, at Jagannath Puri, he's Krishna appearing. He's appearing at Kurukshetra, and the residents of what is this Ratha Yatra parade? That Lord Chaitanya, in the mood of Radharani, he's taking Krishna back to Vrindavan. He's dancing, taking Krishna back to Vrindavan. So this is the mood of Lord Chaitanya, and he's coming to share this with us. So every year we're having this ceremony, this Ratha Yatra festival. But Srila Rupa Goswami says, may that Lord be transcendentally situated in the innermost chambers of your heart. He's resplendent with the radiance of molten gold. So he's come to, so Lord Chaitanya, he's teaching what no other incarnation has ever offered before. These feelings of love for Krishna in mood of separation. So, how do we now? Srila Prabhupada writes in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, oh, this is very nice. Because people would see Lord Chaitanya, he would be dancing in ecstasy, making kirtan, feeling association with Krishna, sometimes in separation, sometimes feeling Krishna's presence, dancing in ecstasy, sometimes rolling in the sands on the beach in Jagannath Puri, like that. So Lord, where I'm going, so he's come to teach this. But someone might say, Srila Prabhupada says, oh yes, so other people, they would see Lord Chaitanya like this, and they would just be overwhelmed by his presence, and they would feel within their own heart, they would feel the same love of Krishna. That is how Lord Chaitanya is distributing. And this is so when Lord Chaitanya left Jagannath Puri to roam all through southern India, wherever he went, he made kirtan, and people became swept up in this mood of love of God, simply by being in the presence of someone who has this mood. So, as Srila Prabhupada writes, but that was 500 years ago. What about us today? How are we going to get this mood? So Srila Prabhupada writes in the purport that one can hear the chanting of Lord Chaitanya today. How? Through the Krishna's disciplic succession. That Srila Prabhupada is in the line of disciplic succession. What is they're handing down through that disciplic succession? Lord Chaitanya's mercy. And it's in the 18th chapter of the teachings of Lord Chaitanya is described how Lord Chaitanya is describing how he became filled with ecstasy and in kirtan. And Srila Prabhupada says, he explains the process. It's in the 18th chapter. He says the process is that the spiritual master, the bona fide spiritual master, Srila Prabhupada writes, the one who has actually received this love of Krishna from the predecessor Acharya. He says the bona fide spiritual master chants, and the sound vibration of the mantra enters the ear of the disciple. And if the disciple chants with an equal feeling, with the same feeling, this is what becomes the worship of the holy name. This is how we worship the holy name. There's no other way to understand this feeling of love for Krishna that Lord Chaitanya is distributing, except that one has to receive it from someone who has it. This is now. So many different directions to go in, but that is described in Chaitanya Charitamrita. That Lord Chaitanya was concerned. It's a big planet, and in order that there are places where Lord Chaitanya didn't go, how they're going to receive. He said, so Lord Chaitanya, it says Lord Chaitanya entered into the hearts of his pure devotees so that wherever they would feel what Lord Chaitanya is feeling. Just like we're reading, every morning we're singing, what is that? Mahaprabhu ki Tananrita Gita Baditra Madhyam Manasona Sena Romanchakam Pashru Taranga Bhajo Bande Guru Shri Charanarvindam. That when the bona fide spiritual master thinks about, when he thinks about Lord Chaitanya, sometimes he feels quivering in his body on account of having a spiritual trance. He feels Lord Chaitanya's ecstasy, and he can share with us. So this is how we receive Lord Chaitanya's mercy. Like in the prayer by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, in the prayer by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur called Guru Dev, the Thakur writes, he's taking the role of a disciple, approaching his spiritual master, and he says, I offer you all respect, for in this way I may have the energy by which I can understand your heart, your feelings, your devotional feelings. If I can understand you, then I can chant the holy name in great ecstasy. All my offenses will cease. So this is the process, that one must receive this love that Lord Chaitanya is distributing from the bona fide spiritual master in the disciplic succession, who has this ecstatic love of God in his heart. And another prayer, how does one acquire this knowledge? This knowledge from Srila Prabhupada in another prayer, Lord Thakur Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he prays. He's approaching, I believe, Lord Nityananda, but he says, the spiritual master, the bona fide spiritual master, is the representative of Lord Nityananda. So he prays that, oh, you who are always tasting, you are always tasting the nectar of the name. When will I have the intelligence to just hold on to your feet until the end of time? When, oh when, will that day be mine? He's understanding that there's no other way to get this love of Krishna except from someone who has it. It's not the question so much that he's going to, not so much that he's going to bestow on us something that we don't already have. This point has to be understood. That pure love of Krishna is present in the heart of every living entity. That's part of what we are. But coming into the material world, that same love, it takes on a different form of expression under the influence of the modes of nature, the modes of passion. It becomes that I'm thinking that my satisfaction in the spiritual world, nobody has a thought about their own satisfaction. Their own, the natural mentality of the spirit soul in the spiritual world is that all they want is for Krishna to be happy. That's called love. Love means wanting someone to be happy, and how can I make the person I love happy? This is love. It's not wanting anything. It's being taught, like a mother is always taking care of her baby. She only wants the baby to be happy. Srila Prabhupada gives it in the spiritual world. No one has any thought, but there's no other than how Krishna will be happy. How can I serve? But so then, when we come here, that same desire to serve becomes directed towards our senses. We're thinking that my happiness, in the spiritual world, the people are thinking, my happiness is Krishna's happiness. Krishna's happiness is my happiness. That's the constitutional position of the spirit soul. God's happiness is my happiness. Again, when the leaf on the tree waters the root. When the leaf on the tree waters the root, the leaf receives. Reciprocation is automatic. It's built in. So we're like that. We're part and parcel of Krishna. So when our love goes to Krishna, the feedback, the reciprocation within our heart, it's overwhelming. The devotees can't contain it. They can't contain it. So this is what Srila Prabhupada comes to share with us. Oh yes. So then, as there's no other way to get the, oh yes, so we have this love, but it's dormant within our heart. It's dormant within our heart. It can never be removed from us. It's not that something is added to us. It's simply that it's reawakened. And the awakening process is to be in contact with a pure devotee. It's just like if you have a nice piece of wood. We have a wood stove here for keeping warm in winter. You have a big block of wood that's cut from a tree, a log, little log. It has the power of heat within it. It has that power. But it's not burning. It's dry, sitting beside the stove. But as soon as that log comes in touch with another piece of wood that's burning, it also starts to burn. So we have this love of Krishna. So the burning power is dormant in the log. The log has the burning power, but the power is dormant. It's not burning. Can sit like that for 1,000,000 years in a good environment. So in the same way, we have this love of Krishna. It's dormant in us, just as the log that's not burning comes in touch with the burning log, it starts also to burn. When we come in touch, the love of Krishna is dormant in us. We come in touch with a pure devotee who has this love of Krishna burning. Then our love of Krishna starts to burn. We start to wake up also, like that. And there's no other way. This is the way that this love of Krishna, this is Lord Chaitanya's mercy. So we have to cultivate an intimate relationship with Krishna's pure devotee. So much so that he shares with us his feelings, his devotional feeling for Krishna. Yeah. There's no other way to get this. It's not about acquiring knowledge, jnana, bahunam janmanam ante. After thousands or millions of births, Krishna says one will understand that Krishna, Vasudeva Sarvamiti, Krishna is everything, therefore I should surrender. So, but then he has to come to the point of bhakti. He has to begin. So Srila Prabhupada says, if we know that that's what we have to do, why should we take a million births? Why not start now? Why not do it? But one has to know, or Hatha Yoga process, Jnana Yoga, Hatha Yoga, Karma Yoga. There's so many things. Yoga means to have this connection, and actually there's the ultimate connection with Krishna or with God is love. That when we love God, then we become. He is full. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. That Krishna is perfect and complete. We understand our perfection and our completeness when we are rightly aligned in our constitutional position in relation to Krishna. And why Krishna, he only create. Why does Krishna create anything? Krishna, he enjoys to be loved. God likes to be loved. So that's why we exist. Just like Krishna's, what does he call, his pleasure potency. What is this meaning, pleasure potency? It means that Krishna has the desire for pleasure. Krishna has a desire to enjoy. Krishna has a desire, but when I have a desire, when you have a desire in the material world, we might have to do some work to fulfill that in the material. But when Krishna has a desire, the object of his desire exists immediately. Just like God says, let there be light, so the whole world is light. So it says in the Bible. So Krishna's desire for pleasure is manifest as Srimati Radharani. And why does Srimati Radharani, how does she give pleasure to Krishna? She gives pleasure to Krishna by loving him. Krishna likes to be loved. All she wants is Krishna's pleasure. That Krishna enjoys her love so much, and by loving Krishna, her happiness is greater than Krishna's, because it's coming back. And it's so much happiness in her heart that Krishna wants to understand what it's like to love Krishna. He says, desiring to understand. That's that verse by Srila Rupa Goswami. Desiring to understand the glories of Radharani's love, the wonderful qualities in Krishna that Srimati Radharani appreciates because of her love, her loving, she can see the beauty in Krishna so beautifully, so nice, because her love is so great. Though desiring to understand the glories of Radharani's love, the wonderful qualities in him that she alone can appreciate because of her love. And what? And the happiness she feels when she experiences the sweetness of Krishna's love. Desiring to understand these things, the Supreme Lord Hari completely holding in her devotion appeared from the womb of Srimati Sachi Devi. Experiencing her devotion, Krishna wanted that Krishna is so complete and full with ananda, with bliss, but he wants to taste the bliss of what love of Krishna is like, because it's so great. And this is what he wants to share with us, that we can have this too. So we have to, how can I get? How can I get this love of Krishna that's so beautiful? We have to approach Krishna's pure devotee. Krishna's pure devotee. Srila Prabhupada in one lecture, he says, he's distributing, he says, he's like Krishna's salesman. He says Krishna's devotee is not poor, he can distribute. So we have to approach him, but so if you know somebody very well, if you go in everyday life, you meet people in the street, you meet people in the stores, they'll talk with you, but they don't share their heart with you, not right away. That somebody should share their heart with you, you have to develop a real relationship with them. So Srila Prabhupada, if we want to understand his love of Krishna, actually he wants us, he wants to know who is ready to receive this. He wants that more than anything else. That's why he's here, actually. He wants to share this love of Krishna with us. But in order to be able to understand Srila Prabhupada, we have to have an intimate relationship with him. And when we open our hearts to him, with joyful enthusiasm, we approach Krishna's pure devotee. And he's just ready to reciprocate with us. When we approach him with a joyful heart and a desire to understand his feelings of love, then he shares with us. Then he enables us to understand what he's feeling. Oh, it doesn't mean that immediately we'll be falling on the ground. It means that immediately we'll be able to understand, oh, how nice it is just to be a devotee of Krishna. He's sharing that with us. And as we cultivate, as we do our sadhana in this mood, it means always engaging in our spiritual activities, our sadhana, in his association. It's we say it every day. Engaging in Krishna consciousness in the association of the pure devotee. Or engaging in Krishna consciousness. How? Engaging in Krishna consciousness under the guidance of Krishna's pure devotee. So this is the way in which we can receive Lord Chaitanya's mercy. So we have to understand this, and then we have to endeavor how to apply this knowledge, how anyone can can cultivate a personal relationship with Srila Prabhupada. They say he lives forever by his divine instruction, and the follower lives with him. Everything we're saying is part of those instructions. It doesn't mean an objective checklist that today I did this, I distributed a book, I got up early, I chant my rounds, Those are instruction. But it's explained that there's two kinds of spiritual masters. Go to Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Lila. Adi Lila chapter 1 verse 47, purport. Srila Prabhupada explained there's two kinds of spiritual masters. One of them is giving objective instructions. Do this, do this, do this, don't do this, don't do that, don't do that. And he says, then that's called objective instruction. Then there's another kind of instruction. Subjective instruction. It's written in our book. Subjective instruction, this is how. Subjective means feeling. He's teaching us how to feel by sharing his feeling. This is how Lord Chaitanya taught love of Krishna, by sharing his feeling through the kirtan. So we have to this is all based, so this is instruction. This is our, he lives forever by his, and the followers with him. This is how we be with him. Not simply doing objective instruction, becoming obedient, but imbibing the taste of his devotion, receiving subjective instruction. This is the process of Krishna consciousness. So I only ask that you consider all these things. You consider all these things. Very beautiful. It's not that by doing for a million years or a million births that one day we'll be blessed with love of God. Srila Prabhupada says in Bhagavad Gita chapter 2 verse 72 purport that one can become Krishna conscious in 1 second, or he might not become that way in millions of births. He said, so what is that process by which, the 1 second process is that we have, if we can feel what he's feeling, by some little degree. It says 1 moment's association with a real devotee. One can imbibe, cut the seed. That's the seed of devotion. So how do you water that seed? It means that moments of feeling feeling him, feeling his presence. The more we feel him, the more it expands in our heart. The more we feel him, the more it expands in our heart. And our sadhana bhakti is the medium through which we cultivate that seed. We chant Hare Krishna in his association, japa, feeling his presence, chanting with the feeling that we get in his association. That is watering the seed that he's of taste, the seed taste that he's sharing with us. So we have to, all of this is in our books. This is not something new. We have to understand it first, to understand, and then to begin in our own small way, our own tiny way, to engage, to cultivate a living relationship with Srila Prabhupada, who is Lord Chaitanya's representative in disciplic succession and have an intimate relationship with him and cultivate feelings of love for Srila Prabhupada. And the more we do so, the more we will feel his presence in our heart. And as we feel his presence, we'll be able to imbibe from him this taste of Krishna consciousness. And in that way, we can receive. That is how we receive Lord Chaitanya's mercy. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Jai.
Krishna.
So we have Mother Rachisa from Quebec and
Rochisa
Janice Priya, yeah,
and Janice Priya.
from
Hare
Hawaii.
Krishna.
So, Jai.
So maybe we'll ask, is this intelligible, what I'm trying to share a little bit according to my tiny ability? Is this intelligible? Is this something you can relate to, at least conceptually?
Yes, Prabhu, very much so.
Oh, Hare Krishna.
You're right, always right on it. You always hit it out of the park. I'm like,
I'm only talking about these things because it's exactly what I have to hear. You follow what I'm saying? I'm talking about it because I have a desire to cultivate in this way. So I'm talking I'm talking about it, not because I am accomplished or anything like that.
what I really like of your style of preaching is that you always read, like you say something and then you say, well, this is from here, and you quote it. So you're not making anything up, you're simply explaining to the best of your ability what you read, And I think you're pretty right on. I get enlivened let's put it this way. Every time I come to this class, I feel enlivened.
It's
Thank you.
very important to it's very important to supply the scriptural reference because some of these ideas are so new or foreign to some of our God brothers, God sisters. And they say, where does this come from? So I'm reading, with keeping an open eye, that if I come across something that there's so many quotes, that just like every day we say, and what is that? Prema bhakti hoite avidya vinashayate prema bhakti hoite. From him, this love of Krishna, it emanates, just like the light emanates from the sun planet. The love of Krishna emanates from Srila Prabhupada. And if we can catch it, avidya vinashayate, that our ignorance is destroyed. As we catch this feeling of love of Krishna, that to that degree, our attraction to Maya is dissipated. It's gone. So, and we sing this every day, the devotees. So that means we have to approach someone who is emanating this love of Krishna. Because anybody can become a guru. And he can memorize the whole Bhagavad Gita, he can memorize the whole, and everything Srila Prabhupada has said, but unless he has that love of Krishna in his heart, he can't share it. So he can't catch us on fire unless he has the fire. So this is process. Therefore, the spiritual master, he has to be the highest Mahabhagavat devotee who can deliver this Lord Chaitanya's mercy to us. Yeah. Hare Krishna. People don't understand. They're accepting people as a guru, and he's a kanistha adhikari. He may even be having trouble keeping the principles. But but even if he can keep the principles, but unless he has this ecstatic love of Krishna, how can he share? But people are following and taking initiation. So like that, it means there's an awful lot of misunderstanding or lack of understanding of what this Krishna consciousness is. It's not a question of being a member of something. It's my church, I go to church. I become a member of a church. It's not, it's a question of having an intimate relationship with Krishna's pure devotee. And anyone can do this. Hare Krishna. I shouldn't talk too long.
What do you think of the saying that bad disciples get bad gurus?
Say it again.
Bad disciples get bad gurus.
A dead disciple gets a dead guru?
Bad.
What is that word? Dead?
B. Bad.
B-A-D? Bad? Oh, yeah. Well, Srila Prabhupada says, if you want to be a cheater, Krishna is the greatest cheater. So if someone is not sincere in their heart to really know Krishna, Krishna directs them to somebody who is cheating them, who cannot, you know what a scam is? That someone is advertising, if you come to me, I'll give you this, and you give me some money, give me some this, and I'll give you this product. But he's not going to give you that, because he doesn't have it. It's a scam. So there's a lot of that in this world, that those who, they don't have the love of Krishna, they can't give to anyone. But they're placing themselves as a guru. It's a scam. What can be done? So, so a bad person will get a bad guru if they're not. According to our sincerity, Krishna gives us the ability to recognize who is the real teacher. That's part of our philosophy. We cannot be attracted to Srila Prabhupada. Only Krishna enables us to be attracted to his pure devotee. So if we really want to know him, then he says, okay, here's your spiritual master. Like that. Ramchandra.
Okay, Rochisa Mataji has a question or comment or something like that. Jai.
Yes. Thank you very much for this very nice speaking. It is a very simple way to explain it, and is a simple way to apply it. I've been reading books for years and years, and I had the chance to meet a devotee that was in love with Srila Prabhupada, so much in love. And he transmitted that love because I didn't have a strong relationship with Srila Prabhupada. And since then, everything is so clear. And if we want to know what Srila Prabhupada talks about, there is a lecture of Srila Prabhupada, if you go on YouTube, The True Friend. And you get the answer directly from Srila Prabhupada about those gurus.
I'm going to do that.
The True Friend, and it's at the beginning of the lecture. Prabhupada is talking about that. And it's very, very easily understand cheaters and cheated.
So since try and find it,
the True Friend.
If I but if
I
can't, maybe if I can't get it, maybe next time I
Yes.
can get the, the date and the.
Chico, ya send you a link.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The true
Yeah.
friend. And I had God sisters that asked me, oh, so many things happen, and those poor devotees that have been cheated, and what about them? And when I read that lecture, it was so clear. I don't ask myself any more questions. It's clear. Prabhupada says it. So the way you explain that relationship that Lord Chaitanya and Srila Prabhupada came to give that love of God is so clear. Is so simple, and that's it. Exactly everything I read is just the same thing, and I appreciate very much associations. Thank you.
It's only, I don't know how to say it exactly, but I can only talk like that with devotees like yourself, because not everyone is able to even consider what we're discussing. And by being able to talk with a devotee like yourself, I can keep my mind and my heart in that orientation. You're helping, you're saying you are appreciating, but you're helping me in the same time. That's just the part of the process. And so we need each other like that. And this is what we do. We keep each other alive spiritually. Yeah.
Mataji is the class true friend in Vrindavan, India, Nectar of Devotion 10. Says true
Yes.
friend, Nectar of Devotion 10, Vrindavan, India.
Yes.
Okay, I'll put the link in here for Prabhu.
The true friend. Yeah. Oh, you have the link already?
I got the link. I'm going to put it on the...
How will I receive it?
It's going to be right here on Zoom,
You understand
on the
this
chat.
technology.
Okay, chat. And here we go. And there it is on the chat.
Oh, and it'll be there
On Zoom, if you go to chat.
Yeah. Prabhu, I think we should. I'll work with Ramchandra. He helps me with the.
Okay. Yes, Prabhu.
I'll
send you the link via email. So
oh,
we'll conclude
you.
the meeting here. Thank you very much to all the devotees for attending here. Thank you, Ishan Prabhu, Pratisha Mataji, Janis Priya. We'll see everyone next week. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Vancha kalpa truvyacha kripa sindhu eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavyo namo